Ernest Cline's novel, Ready Player One, has been largely trending on a lot of platforms since the release of his movie. So I decided to go ahead and give it a read. That was my first mistake. You know, when you first start off a YouTube channel, especially one about book reviews, you want to read as many good books as you can so you can get a lot of good content out of there and recommend good books to your faithful subscribers. Well, it looks like today just is not quite what you did. But it's not all as bad as I seem to make it sound. Ready Player One follows our protagonist, Wade Watts, as he lives in the shambles of modern-day America. Now, America has entered another type of great recession due to humanity's wasteful use of natural resources, leading to a fossil fuel crisis and poverty almost everywhere. Wade lives in one of these neighborhoods. With the real world in shambles, it has an almost apocalyptic type feeling. However, the real world is not all there is in Ready Player One. See, creator and video game designer James Halliday created an entire virtual universe called the Oasis. Now, the Oasis is packed full to the brim of users across the entire world, and this is where these players go to escape from the travesty of their everyday lives out in the real world. In this virtual universe, almost anything is possible. You can become your favorite character in a movie or your favorite character in a video game and play it all day long. However, normal life is carried out in the Oasis too. People go through market transactions, people go to school there, and people carry out business deals that they make a living from for the real world, all in the Oasis. It's almost like it's an entire world that's not real, where people go to escape from their everyday lives. Now, this idea is a fascinating one, and one that I feel could have been utilized much more efficiently than Cline does in his novel, but we'll get into that in the analysis. For now, let's go back to the plot. Unfortunately, shortly the creator of the Oasis, James Halliday, passes away, and it's made known that he left a scavenger hunt to whoever can find the 3 keys, or Easter eggs as they're called, will be given complete control over the Oasis. Now, this clearly works everybody up into a massive frenzy because the Oasis is worth billions of dollars, and whoever owns it is pretty well set off for the rest of their life. Wade Watts is what we would call one of these gunters, and he, along with his other friends, who he doesn't really know in the real world, just simply their avatars in the Oasis, are Halliday fanatics. They know every single bit of 80s trivia and every single bit about Halliday's life. And now, if you're born in the 80s or you're a huge 80s geek, this book is the book for you. But see, I was born in 2001, and these sections of the book where they talked about 80s trivia constantly, I about lost my mind just hearing about all of it. But like I said, it is a small minority of people that actually live to learn 80s trivia and love that era, so if that's you, this book is for you. The main villain in this story is a massive corporation called IOI. At the head of IOI is a man named Nolan Sorrento. What Nolan wants to do is find the keys and then use the Oasis simply for its monetary value in order to flood millions of advertisements across people's screens in order to make money off of it. Which, you know, just sounds like a great capitalistic idea.
I am the one, the way your son don't need a gun to get respect up on the street.
This obviously sets off all of the Oasis users because if IOI does take over, their Oasis experience will be ruined. So there we have the conflict of the story. Wade and his friends are pretty much racing against IOI and the dangers that they have from both inside the Oasis, but also on the outside of the Oasis and the real world too, from threats like IOI and Nolan Sorrento. Now, Corbin, I can already hear you saying, what's the problem with this book? It sounds like it's an amazing premise. And that's just the issue I have with it. It is an amazing premise, but it is not utilized as well as it should have been. What Cline seems to forget is that even though you have an awesome world, you still have to have an interesting plot along with interesting characters. The plot in itself seems to start off quite strong, but however, as I was nearing the end of the novel, it dragged on and on and on. And now, especially the characters, there was almost no character development throughout this entire story. Our main character, Wade Watts, is unlikable, and I think the movie did a better job of portraying him as a likable character than this book did. Now, I could take some heat for that comment, but I see absolutely no character development for any of the characters. Yes, I'll leave a little spoiler here, he does find love at the end, but it seems cliche, and it really does not do anything for our protagonist. One last problem I had with it that is also pretty big is I don't even know what Cline wants me to get out of this book. Normally, whenever I'm reading a book, I can tell what the author is trying to get me to take away. The one theme that I can possibly see Klein pushing in this novel is the theme of reality versus illusion, as you have the characters escaping their troubles in the real world to go into the illusion of the oasis, which is not really there. So you kind of have the utopia/dystopia theme being developed a little bit, but I don't even know if that was intentional on Klein's part. Maybe there's the themes of friendship or something going on with Wade's buddies that he has in the Oasis and in real life. They have a sort of companionship that they team up to take down Sorrento and IOI, but that's basic. It wasn't anything outstanding that made me really consider the beauties of friendship. It was just a classic story. So overall, I don't really understand what the hype was about this book. I was pretty disappointed. A lot more could have been done with it. I felt like the characters I was not invested in. The plot I thought was dry after the first act. And frankly, I was not a fan. So I know that this is not the majority opinion. I know a lot of people like this book, but I will say I think the movie portrays more likable characters and a better plot than this book does. So overall, I'm going to give this book a 4.5 out of 10. I'll leave it at that. I guess I'll recommend this if you like the 80s era. Like I said, if you like 80s trivia and if you like cool things like video games, which I'm a video game guy too. This book was just not my cup of tea. I feel like the guy writing it kind of wrote like a high schooler and there was nothing outstanding about his method, although the world building was pretty interesting. But I'm going to leave it at that. So that's what it is for Ready Player One by Ernest Cline. Hope you guys don't all bash me for this review, all 24 of you that watch. But anyways, I'll see you in the next video. If you did like this video and it was a help to you, please subscribe, or you can help me out also by just liking this video. Share me on your social media platforms, whatever you got, and you can leave comments about what book you would like me to do next. Until then, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again.